This is the GeoSketch tools video for the Fix Ridge tool, which is new in GeoSketch 2.2 and is intended to address the problem where you have a nadir image but it is not quite perfectly nadir, so that things are skewed in the image. For example, the ridge line of this hip roof does not show up in the center of the eave, and you can see skewing of the ridge line of this gable such that it doesn't line up over the eave. So we can use the standard tools for constructing the geometry of this roof, but we won't use the ridge to define it because the ridge is not in the right location. Instead we'll use the eave for this hip roof, and we'll use inferencing to make this other section of the hip roof perpendicular to the first one and position that. And now we've got the two groups for this roof, but you can see that the ridge and the texture does not line up with the geometric ridge. So we'll use our Fix Ridge tool and we'll edit the individual groups, and then we just grab the ridge, hold down the left mouse button and move the mouse until the ridge and the texture lines up with the geometric ridge. And we'll close that group and we'll edit this group and do the same thing, grab the ridge and then just use the mouse to move the texture such that the ridge and the texture lines up with the geometric ridge. Now in this case I chose to do the fixing of the textures before I did the Boolean operations. You can do it after you use the solid tools to create the outer shell, but you might get different topological relationships such that this section of the roof will move when you modify this ridge line as opposed to this ridge line. But you can use the solid tools now to do the outer shell on those, and then because we fixed the textures, now features such as these other sections of roof will be lined up properly, and you can use the tools as described in the other tutorial video.